So my name is Nick Petersen. I'm the Director of Performance Analytics at Relationship One. We're a consulting firm up in Minneapolis. We work with a lot of organizations, universities, education systems to help them implement performance measurement. And I was asked to come here by Tableau Software, which is a data analytics tool, to kind of give a high-level overview of kind of what it can do and some of my observations in terms of how Tableau can empower and drive decision-making within organizations. So the advantage of being here or presenting on the last day is I get to listen to what people have been saying. And I think a common theme has really been, how can we democratize data? And how can that impact the decision-making? So really thinking about that, focusing on the second part, making data available to all people to make it possible for people to understand. And when you're able to do that, increasing the ability for decision makers to understand, people, researchers, the common public, that's when you can start to see that kind of impact. They know what's going on. There's no curtain. And so they feel empowered to act. And really, it's about telling a story. And what that means is making the information and the data presentable. It's easily digestible to your target audience. You contain the right amount of information. You're not overwhelming them with data points that would confuse them. And then you're building your visualizations and you're presenting the data to the right audiences. So you're building things to target, whether it's at a high level, executive, administration level, or the actual researchers, if it's out for public consumption, making sure that the design fits those target audiences. And this isn't something new. So I really like this visualization. This was actually done in 1868 by Charles Menard. He was trying to visualize why Napoleon lost the war against Russia. And so you can see this is kind of the starting point. This is where we came from. And we've come a long way. And a lot of that is because the demands have increased. People are now looking for the ability to create those visualizations faster, to connect to multiple sources of data. You can cater it to different audiences. You can make it dynamic, real-time, and really you can implement it at any level. And that's kind of what Tableau has been doing for the last 8-9 years, ever since they were created, really trying to hit on those key points. Something that I think is really interesting is, for the most part, Tableau is source agnostic, which means you can connect to pretty much any type of data source. And this is something that I just really like to highlight because, across many universities, education systems, you have a lot of different data types or data sources. You're connecting to Oracle, SQL Server, maybe some cloud systems, various metrics or educational tracking systems. And what's really great is you're able to connect all of that and actually blend the data within the tool. And what this does is it kind of takes analytics outside of the IT, from behind the curtain, and puts it into the hands of the business, and puts it into the hands of the people that need the analysis done, whether it's the business side or the administration, students. So I'm just going to go over a really quick case study. So one of the things that we do a lot of is actually help schools, both at the K through 12 level and at the post-secondary, kind of measure the student life cycle. And what we mean by student life cycle is really kind of pre-admissions, so from a university's perspective, looking at prospective student data, and then going all the way through to post-graduation, so alumni tracking, and helping universities set up a system so all of that's brought together, and so that they can kind of see how students flow through. We also do this for a lot of charter school systems because similar to universities, they have prospective students. They want to make sure that they're filling those seats. So, this is an example of kind of, what you can build in Tableau, looking at your prospective students coming in or who you've enrolled, and how do they break down. I've de-identified a lot of the data. You'll see data this afternoon that's de-identified. I don't know if anybody caught Lake Wobegon, NVIDIA, Prairie Home Companion.
Are they truly all above average?
Well, actually, to some extent, yes. You can kind of see. The idea is, you see who you've enrolled. Now you track them through, and you can see their level of progress. And I'll go into some of this a lot more later this afternoon, so you can actually see how it all works. So the next phase of that student life cycle, and then finally, really trying to close the loop. So, we helped with an alumni survey for a particular charter school network. And one of the things that they were really interested in, where are they going to college? Trying to track beyond that graduation date and tie it to their records in the past, so you could actually dive down in a lot more detail. Ultimately, what is this doing? It's revolutionizing data viz. Again, we're taking it out of from behind the curtain. It's no longer a black box. The business can really kind of dive in. And what that means is, you're empowering people to use analytics. It's not just something that certain people can do. You can now have more people, program level people, diving in and looking at measuring their progress. And ultimately, what that does is leads to inspiration. And with that inspiration, you can drive those decisions. You can drive greater outcomes.